Hello, today my how-to is how to care for someone with Alzheimer's in your home. Basically, I'm just going to be addressing how to give them a sense of dignity and a sense of self, especially since they feel like they're losing that when their memory fades. Just kind of a small example of how I did that is oftentimes people with Alzheimer's will be incontinent. You don't want to see this in your bathroom. This is a constant reminder of your incontinence. It gives them a sense of shame. One of the things you can do is throw this out and just put it in a pretty little container. A little container you put in the bathroom. This is a lot less of a reminder of the fact that you wet the bed than a big old bag of diapers. Another thing that's really helpful is you can get these wax-lined paper bags on Amazon. And when the diaper is used, you can put it in there. It seals the smell, throw it out. Again, it's another less reminder that they have to have. I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. As I do, I just want you to see behind me. This was really vital in what we did in the care of my grandma. What we did is we took a lot of the items that were in her home for her entire life and brought them into our home so that she had a sense of placement, of where she belonged. It kind of recreated her home for her. Doing little small things like this can do a lot and go really far with someone, especially when they're losing their memory. We had her favorite paintings. We had, her little statues. You'll notice I have Tony Bennett playing in the background. That's another thing that's really important. You might like Kendrick Lamar or Eminem like I do, but you don't want to play those. You want to give them that sense of that provenance when they were in their youth and vital. Those are the things that are really going to bring small joy. Another thing that really brings a lot of joy and just love into their life is flowers, even a balloon from the 99-cent store. Oftentimes they might forget who you are or they forget the people around them, but they know love. They can feel that. When you bring flowers and keep them in their room, she knew she was cared about, and that was really important that she knew that. A few other small tips that I just wanted to talk about is people with Alzheimer's will tend to squirrel away their belongings, especially their special ones, and they can get lost. I've heard many families deal with this, and it was very heartbreaking, especially if it was pieces that were very near and dear to their hearts. So what we did is at the beginning of taking her into our home is we took her finer pieces of jewelry and the pieces that we knew she wanted to bequeath, and we took those away, but left pieces like her costume jewelry, so that she still felt like she had her fancies. She would put it on. She was very much the lady, draped herself in pearls, fur, and her fancy jewelry, and she would just keep it in her little crystal jar, and we would just put all the jewelry that we could in there so she didn't feel like she was going without. Another something that you don't really think about until you're in the situation is money. I mean, if you think about it, these people have worked their entire lives. My grandma was a substitute clear into her 80s, and she would look in her wallet, and in the beginning we didn't put any money in her wallet, right? Because we didn't think she had a need for it. There was an emotional need for it. She needed to feel like she had that security. We tried doing ones. She did not really like that. She was like, what's up with this? I worked too hard for ones. So one of the tricks we did is we got a bunch of twos from the bank. I don't know if she thought they were 20s or if it just looked bigger than ones, but we put these in her wallet, and she would check her wallet daily, and you would see this look of relief on her face. She would feel relieved. Anytime we went out shopping, we'd look for opportunities to empower her. Anytime that you can give someone who's losing their sense of identity and their sense of memory and who they are, when you can empower them, give them dignity, we would put money in her wallet when we would go out. So she had the opportunity to pay the cashier. She had the opportunity to be empowered. Those are really important. And lastly, I just wanted to end by saying that's actually what I view as a sign from my grandma. So maybe she was saying hello there. This was her favorite jar. Lastly, don't forget self-care. I made the mistake of doing that. I spent the last 5 years having to lose 130 pounds because I neglected myself. And that's the last thing that the loved one you're caring for wants for you. So just remember self-care along with the care of them, and know that it may be one of the most difficult things that you experience, but it's also one of the most rewarding and beautiful things. So thank you, and I hope this helps.